Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking into a conversation between a father, Alex, and his son, Riley.
Yeah, Alex is getting ready to leave for a few days, and this chat they have is really, well, it's packed.
Packed is a good word. It's full of instructions, definitely, but also, worries and feelings that aren't always said out loud.
Exactly. And what's interesting is just how much you can piece together about their relationship and the situation just from this one conversation.
Right. We see the practical side, what Alex needs Riley to do while he's gone.
But also those deeper emotional currents flowing underneath. So our mission today is really to unpack what's going on between them in this specific moment.
Okay, let's dive in. First up, the practical stuff. Alex is going away. Why again?
He's heading to a friend's place. They've got some school project work to do, apparently. And he says he'll be busy for at least 3 days, could be longer.
Got it. And straight away, there's a little bit of friction, isn't there? Riley wants to go to his friend's house.
But Alex's first reaction is no, because he won't be home.
What does that initial no tell us, do you think?
Well, it immediately shows Alex's mindset, right? His priority is Riley's safety and maybe keeping things under control while he's away. It's that parental instinct kicking in.
Makes sense. And for you listening, maybe that reminds you of times you've had similar thoughts, worrying about someone when you can't be there.
It's a pretty universal feeling, I think. But they do reach a compromise.
They do. Riley can go out, but boy, there are rules. Lots of them.
Oh, yeah. A whole list. Like morning routine, clean bed, clean rooms.
And a big one. No friends over at their house. None at all.
What do you make of that rule? It seems quite strict.
Well, taken together, these rules, they show Alex trying to maintain order, maybe feel a bit more in control, even though he's not physically there. It's about managing risk, perhaps.
I think so. It's like trying to prevent potential problems. Setting clear boundaries so things hopefully run smoothly. Or at least how Alex wants them to run.
Then there's the whole who to call procedure.
For regular questions, call Alex. Okay, straightforward.
But for emergencies, call Alex first. Then if Alex doesn't pick up and the police aren't responding to Alex's call Grandpa.
That detail about the police not answering Alex's call is interesting, isn't it? It's very specific.
It is. It suggests Alex has really thought through some worst-case scenarios. Shows a high level of anxiety, perhaps.
Definitely shows deep concern. He wants Riley to have backup options, a clear chain of command almost.
Yeah.
It really highlights that worry about leaving him alone. Riley is what, 14?
Yeah, 14. And Riley does try to reassure him, saying he can manage.
Which is typical for a teenager wanting independence, but Alex clearly isn't entirely convinced.
There's also a rule about phone use. No mobile after 10 p.m.
Standard enough rule, maybe. Then they get into cooking.
Right. Try to cook at home, he says. Look up recipes online if you need to.
And importantly, he adds, don't buy alcohol.
That specific mention of alcohol, does that suggest anything?
It could. Maybe there's a history there. Or maybe it's just Alex covering all bases, standard don't do dumb things warning for a teen. Hard to say for sure.
He also talks about fire safety. Pay attention while cooking. If there's a fire, get out, call the firefighters.
Again, very practical, but underlines the worry about Riley being alone and potentially inexperienced with cooking. It's about basic safety.
Okay, let's shift to school and social life. Alex wants the school routine maintained. Usual times.
And specifically tells him not to use the motorcycle.
Okay. Another safety boundary. And then there's the advice about friends.
Yeah, don't hang out too long with, quote, bad friends outside.
What do parents usually mean by bad friends?
Often it just means kids they think might be a negative influence, might encourage breaking rules or making poor choices. It's about peer pressure concerns.
And he also says don't miss your private classes. He's even going to call the teacher to check in.
That shows Alex is really involved, doesn't it? Wants to ensure Riley stays on track academically, even remotely. It's about maintaining structure.
Then they talk about the weekend. Alex is quite firm. No party.
And Riley needs to clean the house and the garden. Seems like chores are expected.
Yeah. But the no party rule gets extra emphasis because Alex brings up a past incident.
Ah, yes, the horrible party. Involved drinking, apparently, and Riley's friends felt embarrassed afterwards.
Bringing that up now, why do that?
It serves as a clear justification for the strict rule now. It says, look, we've been here before, it didn't go well, so we're not doing it again. It shows past experiences directly shaping current rules. Context is everything.
Okay, let's move beyond just the rules and think about the feelings underneath. Alex repeatedly tells Riley to listen carefully.
Yeah, that repetition could suggest Alex feels he isn't always heard, or maybe that Riley can be easily distracted. It's a common parent-teen dynamic, perhaps.
We also learned something pretty significant about the family structure. Riley's parents are divorced.
And Alex mentions he doesn't talk to Riley's mother very often.
What does that background information add to our understanding?
It adds a whole layer of complexity, doesn't it? It suggests Riley might be navigating a tricky relationship between his parents. It contextualizes Alex's potential anxieties, maybe feeling solely responsible at this moment.
And Alex actually voices a concern about Riley's mom. He says he hopes she won't be angry about him leaving Riley alone.
Which is quite telling. But Riley steps up, doesn't he?
He does. He says he understands and will explain the situation to his mother, cover for his dad, essentially.
Riley's response there shows a degree of maturity, I think. He seems aware of the parental dynamics and is willing to help manage them. That's quite a burden for a teen, but also shows he's perhaps perceptive.
Then Alex shares something very personal. He tells Riley he still loves Riley's mother, and that's why he hasn't remarried.
Wow, yeah. That's a big admission in the middle of giving instructions. Why share that now?
Maybe it's a moment of vulnerability, a way to connect with Riley on a deeper level, explain himself, or perhaps just his own unresolved feelings bubbling up. It humanizes him beyond just being the rule giver.
It certainly adds depth, and it seems to land with Riley.
It does. Riley says something about having misunderstood his father in the past, but now seeing the sacrifices Alex has made.
That's a huge moment, isn't it? That realization from Riley signifies real growth, an ability to see his parent as a person with their own struggles. It suggests a potential shift in their relationship.
Let's touch on the money aspect, too. Alex leaves $200.
But Riley asks for more.
He does. He wants to buy some clothes, but also, and this seems key, a surprise gift for his mother.
And Alex's reaction.
Yeah.
Initially hesitant about more money.
Right, maybe budget concerns or teaching value. But when he hears it's for a gift for Riley's mom,
he agrees. That tells you something about Alex's priorities, maybe his lingering feelings, or perhaps just appreciating Riley's thoughtful gesture towards his mother.
It's another layer. Then there's one more hurdle about plans. Riley wants to go to a friend's birthday party the next day.
And Alex's first instinct, again, is no, because he won't be there.
It mirrors the earlier situation about just going to a friend's house, doesn't it? Same core worry.
Exactly. The underlying concern is Riley's safety and behavior without supervision. It's consistent.
But Riley explains it's an important friendship, and Alex relents. He allows it.
That flexibility is important too, though. It shows Alex is willing to listen and trust Riley, at least somewhat, when given a good reason. It's not just blanket no's, it's a negotiation.
Towards the very end, the conversation circles back to Riley's mother. Riley offers to pass on a hello from Alex.
Which is a nice gesture, acting as a bridge. And Alex responds by reiterating his feelings, that he still loves her, explaining again why he stayed single.
It feels like a moment of real openness between them.
Definitely. Very raw and honest. It takes their conversation beyond just logistics again.
And Riley really seems to get it. He apologizes for how he might have judged his father before.
That apology is significant, shows empathy, maturity, and they agree to talk more when Alex gets back.
Suggesting maybe this conversation opened a door for deeper discussions later. Oh, and Alex slips in one last reminder.
All right, take your medicine. Just a small practical detail, but it shows that continuous thread of care, even amidst all the emotional stuff.
So, wrapping up this deep dive, it's clear this wasn't just a simple goodbye and here are the rules chat.
Not at all. It was this real blend of practical instructions, born out of necessity and worry, woven together with quite deep emotional currents and family history.
We get a snapshot of the relationship. Alex's protective nature, maybe a bit controlling out of fear.
And Riley's growing independence, his navigating the family situation, and maybe starting to see his dad in a new light. Their shared history, especially concern of the mother, looms large.
So a final thought maybe for you listening. What does an exchange like this reveal about how complex family communication can be, especially during times of change or separation, like Alex leaving? How do practical needs and unspoken emotions get tangled up?
Yeah, it definitely gives you a lot to think about regarding the nuances in our own families and relationships, doesn't it? Those layers are always there.